Hello, everyone. Before I begin reading from the diary today, I wish to share with you that my beloved mother, Joan Ann Ferrier, passed away November the 27th, 2022, peacefully in her sleep at the age of 83. This was unexpected, and my brother Randy, my son Matthew, and myself are truly heartbroken. She was our rock, our constant, our best friend. She was the heartbeat of our home. She still lived on the family farm, enjoying walks down the lane, planting her flowers, or looking at the horses grazing in the fields. She was the city girl who married my dad, Arthur Ferrier, October 15th, 1966, beginning her journey as a farmer's wife. Mom, Grandma, we will forever remember the sparkle in your eyes and your tremendous love for us. And now I will begin with reading history number 22. Monday, October the 1st, 1906. We got another cartload of potatoes picked this afternoon. Father and Mother went to town this afternoon to attend the funeral of Mr. and Mrs. Isaac Ferrier's little daughter. I spent the day plowing on the Brash farm. Saturday's rain made the ground somewhat easier to plow. Tuesday, October the 2nd. Today was the fall fair day. Father went to it this afternoon. The other boys got the last of our potatoes in the field on the Brash place at the far end of the other barn over there. We had about 4 cartloads in the piece. Our potatoes this year were pretty numerous in the ground, but there are very few large ones. I plowed them all out with 3 horses on the sulky plow. Wednesday, October the 3rd. The boys picked the potatoes that we had in the strip along the sideline between the 2 farms in the field opposite the maple grove. The potatoes are to belong to us boys. We had somewhere between 10 and 15 bushels of them. Potatoes this year have generally been a little small, but nearly all cases were sound. Thursday, October the 4th. Father went to town this forenoon and brought home a scraper with him. The weather this fall has been very dry, and so we are thinking of doing some ditching. The others of them got our apples picked today. The apple crop this year has been very poor about here, and we have not nearly half as many apples this year as last. Friday, October the 5th. I began plowing in the field where we had our corn this morning. I used 3 horses this forenoon, but this afternoon I just had the team as Father had to go to the mill and the boys picked stones. This evening, Alice and us 3 eldest boys went up to Mr. Abraham Moody's. When we got there, we found Mrs. Mary and Lizzie, and Archie Allen and Wilfred. And so we made quite a gathering, and altogether we spent a pleasant evening. Saturday, October the 6th. This forenoon was somewhat damp, but I managed to plow until about noon. But this afternoon it began raining in earnest, so I never turned out at all. There has been more rainfall on Saturday since spring, I think, than on any other day of the week. As tonight was likely to be pretty cold, we kept our milk cows in for the first time this fall. Sunday, October the 7th. We all went to church today but Lloyd and Harold. The weather today was somewhat cool, and I wore my overcoat and mitts to church for the first time this year. Monday, October the 8th. I plowed all day today in the field on the Brash place where we had our corn, and the boys spent most of the day picking stones off it. This afternoon, Father went back to Mr. Andrew Moody's auction sale. All he bought, however, was a walking plow, and he was not able to get it home with him. Tuesday, October the 9th. We got no outside work done today, as it rained steadily from this morning until about the middle of the afternoon. Father did some work about the house, and we boys cleaned some grain in the barn at home. Wednesday, October the 10th. Father and Lloyd spent today ditching along the lane in the swamp between the 2 farms. Leslie and Alec picked stones in the field on the Brash place opposite the maple grove, and I plowed there today. Thursday, October the 11th. Today was a chilly sort of day, and it felt quite cool sometimes on the sulky plow. I got the field where we had our corn nearly finished, and Leslie and Alex got the last of the stones off it. Father and Lloyd spent the day ditching in the same place as yesterday. Friday, October the 12th. The threshing mill got into the neighborhood today and threshed at Mr. Constant's until about 2 o'clock, and then went over to Mr. Hogan's. Father, however, did not get over there this forenoon, as he took in a load of pigs for Messrs. Brown and McLean. There were 7 in the load, and they weighed 1,100 pounds. We got 6 cents a pound for them. This evening, Alice and us 3 eldest boys went into a social at Knox Church, and we spent a pleasant evening. Saturday, October the 13th. Mr. Hogan's got through their threshing about 2 o'clock this afternoon, and from there the mill went over to Mr. Yu's. As no one from here goes there, the 2 bigger boys busied themselves at home. Father and Mother went over to the funeral of old Mr. Ralph Dodds at Glen Tay this afternoon. Monday, October the 15th. The threshing mill got to Alex Abercrombie's about noon today, and Father went over to help this afternoon, but came home early as the mill was not working right, and they stopped to see if they could fix it. Today was the warmest day that we have had for some time, and the horses on the sulky plow were very warm for a while this afternoon. And that is where I shall finish for today. Thank you, as always, for listening to Reading History with Great Uncle Ernest.